So just going over a couple of runners we have this morning. KTTA is interesting because, you can see immediately they have this offering pending here. You can see in the filings, and then also on our dilution tab, which shows basically any pending offerings. And then they have this DRS, which I'll go into on another video, but this basically, this one up here, means it was essentially prepared in advance. So they may not need an effect, so this can be ready to go immediately. And then also on top of that, if I look in the research, I've gone over H.C. Wainwright, who's the underwriter of this offering before, and we have this analysis where we can basically look at stocks and how they move prior to an offering with this underwriter. And as I've indicated here in this last note, is it does tend to spike at the open, but it does ultimately fade most of the time with these ones. So that one's very interesting to me. The other one we have is, let's see here, ENLV. So ENLV, they did a crypto treasury pipe, which, a couple months ago was like a big thing. As you can see here, 212 million. It was at $1. So this one, they have an ATM. What is it? So they can raise up to 9 million from the ATM because the shelf capacity limits how much they can actually raise from the ATM because the ATM is tied to the shelf. So $9 million, it's like 6 million shares. So the volume is probably too much for that to matter at the moment. And then another interesting thing somebody pointed out is, let's see here. So the token that's going to be part of their treasury is this RAIN. So whenever there's a treasury play, I like to see how the asset is doing, the crypto asset is doing, and it spiked. And I think because sometimes you'll have the stock run because the crypto is running. In this case, it kind of seems like the crypto is running because ENLV is running because they're going to be buying this. But anyways, just something. Two of the top ones I'm looking at, obviously KTTA is the most interesting with the catalyst. ENLV, I don't know if I necessarily see a fundamental edge. If we look at also the past charts on this one, it hasn't really done anything since so right here, hasn't done anything since COVID. So I'm not sure these historical charts are that relevant. This one was also during COVID 2020. The one thing that was interesting, as I posted in research, is that this didn't show up on the gap historical charts because it wasn't really a gap. But you can see when it finally did get volume, it did fade off. And then also we see that they have been using the ATM, so it was likely used on that day. So I think it's likely that they use the ATM just because we can see from the last time they got volume, it was clear that they used it. So probably what they'll do again, but again, the volume is just maybe too much for it to matter because, as I mentioned, they're capped at $9 million. That's like 6 million shares. I think it's already traded. Let's see here, almost 100 million shares already. So I don't really see a fundamental edge in this one, but I do see a fundamental edge in KTTA. Doesn't mean I won't trade this one. I just don't really see anything from a fundamental perspective that's going to give me an edge.